Welcome back to Headlight Headlines, your daily automotive news podcast. My name's Clayton, your host. Please make sure to check us out on Twitter at HlightHlines, on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Headlight Headlines. Got just a few things for us today. Not really a ton of crazy news. A little more stuff about the new Mustang. And as you can see, we're going to start things off here today with the latest last call edition from Dodge. So if you're unaware, Dodge is going to end production of the Challenger and Charger after the 2023 model year. So they are having 7 special editions made of those vehicles to commemorate that. We've had, I believe, 4 or 5 of them already. We had the Shakedown, the Shaker Hood. We had the Super Bee. We had the Swinger. And this is just the latest one. It is the Charger King Daytona. It is the 807 horsepower version of the Hellcat, and it only will come in 300 vehicles produced. So it's based on the wide-body Hellcat Red Eye, which typically makes 797 horsepower. However, this one is tuned to 807 horsepower, and it has this orange paint that's called Go Mango, and it has some graphics on it like most of the others do. Just like all the rest, orders will open this fall, and it's crazy to see how Dodge was able to pull 10 more horsepower out of that Hellcat engine. So they're saying it has graphics on the hood, roof, spoiler, that say King Daytona. It has 6-piston orange Brembo brakes to match the exterior color, and it's bright, like it's bright orange. This one's not too crazy of the editions. We've seen the other ones. Some of them are a little crazier. This one more is just for the power, I guess. It has 20-inch wheels, chrome badging, and hood pins. I think a lot of these have hood pins, and I'm not really a fan of it, but whatever. They're saying there's a King Daytona badge on the dashboard. You can see it's orange over here on the passenger side. Daytona logo on the seats. And besides that, just some other typical upgrades for something like this. The current Hellcat Red Eye for the Charger, I believe, is like $90,000. So this one will probably get into that 6-figure territory. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see here for once they finish releasing all the rest to come out with pricing for this fall. So I want to say this is the 5th one. So there should be only 2 more left, unless this is the 6th one. But yeah, they're doing this like every week, so check back in next week. We will have the next version. Now, just a kind of a small update. The 2024 Subaru Crosstrek update is out. They're saying it has more body cladding, so that would be this plastic cladding around the side. I'm pretty sure this big part up front is new. I think these are just larger, because this one had cladding before. The Crosstrek is a very popular model that Subaru sells, so it's not surprising that they're doing little updates like this to it. This is the 2024 model, so it won't come out till next year. But yeah, more cladding around the wheel well. The front is where the main difference is. They got some like smaller, more narrow headlights, and the grille itself is a bit bigger. In the inside, they're saying that the screen is now this vertical orientation, where before it was not. These screens are huge. I have a friend who has a Subaru with the large screen like this in it. It's pretty cool. I like it for the size, but I don't really know if I like the huge vertical display. I don't know. It also looks like it keeps the climate control, which I love. But yeah, they're saying it also has new seats. See this interesting stitching here. And eyesight driver assistance technologies are improved with a better camera system. So not too much. I would not be surprised if it costs a few extra dollars. Just the way things are going now, they haven't released pricing for this. But if I had to guess, it would be a little bit more expensive. I'd expect like somewhere around $500 more or something. But yeah, updated Subaru. And then next, we have a discussion of Ram testing a mid-size pickup truck with these concepts. I'm not sure. So they're saying that the Ram chief, the CEO, is considering showing dealers an early concept of a Dakota replacement. So in the early 2000s, and even before that, the last one they had was in 2011. Ram had the Dodge Dakota as their mid-size pickup truck. It was a pretty popular truck back then. Most of them were sold in a extended cab configuration. They had very few in this crew cab. But yeah, they're nice. They're nothing too crazy. Obviously, back then, everything was pretty plain. I have a truck from back then in the mid-size segment, so nothing too crazy. But yeah, so these concepts that are shown here are not from Dodge. They are just fan concepts, I'm assuming. So basically, the whole concept of this is that the CEO of Ram is kind of on the fence about whether or not he should show dealers this concept of a Dakota replacement. He wants to, in order to get feedback, but it doesn't sound like, it sounds like this may be unsure about it. I'm sure that he will end up showing it to them, but yeah. This concept, we'll talk about the concepts real quick. We've got this concept that just looks like a barely smaller version of the Ram 1500 that we have now. It literally could be a picture of the Ram 1500, and I'm just dumb, but it looks okay. Nothing too crazy. Then we have this next one that looks like a Chevy Colorado that they just put a Ram front end on. Like, not the new one that's coming out next year, but the second gen. It looks like they just literally ripped the back half from right here and then put a Ram front end from this picture on it. It looks goofy. Then they have a picture of the Dakota. So yeah, I'm not sure what we'll get. I think it would have to be something pretty cool if they're going to join the midsize market, because the midsize market has so much right now. It has the brand new Colorado and Canyon that were just revealed like a month ago or within the past month. It has the Ford Ranger, which is beloved and should be getting an upgrade soon. It has the Jeep Gladiator, which is huge and beloved. It's got to have something big for the off-roading segment, because that's what where most of the competitors lie in that field. So I'm really interested to see what we'll get. I guess just time will tell. I'm sure there might be leaks once Ram CEO shows it off, but we'll see. And then lastly, we got some more discussion on the new Mustang that we talked about yesterday. If you haven't heard that, check that out. We go in depth about all about the new design, all about how the car is, what it comes with, the interior, exterior, all about it. But now we're talking about the Dark Horse edition of the Mustang. So I'd heard about this yesterday before I did the podcast, and I was really unsure about what the Dark Horse model meant. So I didn't want to put it in there just because I wanted to make sure everyone knew what they were talking about before we get to it. So here we go. The Dark Horse model, pictured above, is basically a track performance car version of the Mustang, and there's going to be different ones. So first there's just going to be the Dark Horse. which is street legal, all of this. Then there's the Dark Horse S and Dark Horse R, which are just track cars. I want to make sure I got this right. Yeah. Dark Horse S can't wear a license plate, or the R. Then there's also the GT4 and GT3, which will be for their professional racing classes. But yeah, we'll get more into that in a bit. But the Dark Horse in general is an upgraded version of the GT performance model. So it uses that same engine, but it is upgraded with forged crankshaft and piston rods for higher cylinder pressures. It's basically going to be like the GT 500 of this Mustang, is what I'm kind of getting from it. So it's got a bunch of engine upgrades so that they can get it up there. They're trying to get 100 horsepower per liter. So we'll see. We'll see what they can get. It has a upgraded 6-speed manual. It has upgraded differential. They're also talking about the automatic, obviously the 10-speed. A lot of people are going more towards this 10-speed over the manual just because it is much faster. Obviously, those who want the traditional driving exhilaration will get the 6-speed, but in terms of straight speed, the 10-speed automatic is faster. It's got larger brakes, chassis bracing, stuff like that, handling upgrades, a lot of stuff like that. So like I said, the just Dark Horse is street legal, but then there are the Dark Horse S and R for track only. So they're saying the S has a roll cage, racing seats, racing seat belts, detachable steering wheel, fire suppression system, a lot of stuff. An adjustable wing, tow hooks, hood pins, and yeah, a lot. Multimatic dynamic suspension spool valve units. And then the R is that, except it's more stiff and it gets better wheels and it's approved for racing basically. So yeah, it has these different headlights that you can see right here than the regular one. Besides that, stitching differences, nothing too crazy. They're saying it's going to be 3.8 seconds, 0 to 60 at least, for the 10-speed automatic. So who knows? Only time will tell. Here's a picture of it. It looks really mean. So yeah, we'll see what it brings. They're estimating it to be at least 60 grand. So I think it might be even more than that, 65,000 or something. We will see. But a lot of people are really excited about this. I'm excited just to see what we're getting here in the future. But that's all of the news we got for today. Like I said before, check us out on Twitter at HlightHlines, on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Headlight Headlines. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.